Hello, everyone. I am the Great Lakes League intern, Justin Deweese, and thank you for joining us on our series where we're looking at alumni from the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League that made it on to the pros in Major League Baseball. And today we have Craig Stammen. Craig, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Before I ask questions to Craig, I'll give you a little background about him. He's been playing in the majors since 2009 with the Washington Nationals and the San Diego Padres. He has a 44-37 record as a pitcher, a 3.63 ERA, 605 strikeouts, and he's played in 438 games. So, Craig, the first question, could you just give us a little background about you, maybe where you're from, where you played high school and college ball, your Great Lakes team, your journey to the majors, and then anything about your personal life, if you want to share that.
All right, I grew up in a little town called North Star, Ohio. It's about a 50-minute drive to Lima High School. So I was able to live at home while I played for the Lima Locos in 2003 and in 2004. I went to Versailles High School. From there, I went to the University of Dayton, played 3 years, was drafted in 2005 by the Washington Nationals. Played with them for 4 years in the minor leagues till 2009. Got called up to the big leagues, bounced up and down a few years, stuck around, and then left them in 2015 after an injury. Was with the Indians for 1 year, kind of rehabbing, playing in the minor leagues, and then 2017 made the team out of spring training with San Diego, and have been playing with them ever since. Part of my family, I've got I'm married. I've got 2 kids. I got a boy named Chase. He's just over 2 years old, and we've got a baby girl named Summit, and she's 8 months old. So right there in the mix with 2 young kids, building our family and enjoying our time here in San Diego.
Awesome. Could you describe what is your fondest memory in all of baseball?
Fondest memory is probably, popping that champagne when we won our division titles with Washington in 2012 and 2014. There's nothing that beats accomplishing a goal with a team and with a bunch of buddies and winning championships. It started when I was with the Lima Locos. We won the championship in 2004. It's a good memory too. But those big league memories, popping champagne in a big league clubhouse is a little bit different. And going with that, my major league debut is definitely a good memory. A lot of family and friends there. My first major league win was in Yankee Stadium the year that they won the World Series in 2009. So those are the biggest memories that come to mind off the bat.
Okay. This next question you kind of already answered, but it's what's your fondest memory in the Great Lakes League?
Yeah, 2004. Both years I played for Lima, we had a blast. Rob Lipchek was a great manager, but 2004 we took home the championship. That year I was playing with one of my college teammates, Caleb Thompson. So it made it even more fun to share that kind of memory with him. If I'm not mistaken, he pitched the championship game that year. We came through the losers bracket. I had pitched the night before, and then he finished it out. We had to beat a team. I forget who it was. I think it was Delaware. We had to beat them 2 games in a row at Ohio State's field, and we ended up winning both games. And that dog pile on the mound is something I'll never forget. I've got the Channel 35 Lima News video still. I've got some paper cutouts from that. It was just a good summer, good memory, and ended with a good championship.
What part of your time in the Great Lakes League would you say was the most beneficial in helping you get to the minors and eventually to the major leagues?
I think those 2 summers I spent with Lima were huge for my development. Rob obviously was a great coach. He had pitched in the minor leagues, given us a little insight on what it took to get there. We had another pitching coach those 2 years named Justin Scally, who was at Ohio Northern at the time, and now he's at Piedmont College in Georgia. Those 2 guys were great pitching coaches, gave me the confidence that I was good enough too. They were always telling me, who was coming to see our games, what the scouts were saying, And it gave me the confidence that I was good enough to get drafted, good enough to get to the big leagues in those 2 summers. And I learned a lot from those 2 guys too that made me a better pitcher. Without those 2 summers with Lima, there's probably a very slim chance that I would have gotten drafted and be able to have the career that I've had.
Gotcha. Do you have any particular funny stories from your time with the Locos in the league?
Man, Rob kept things pretty light, so we had some fun. One of the memories I have playing with Lima is I was living at home, so my family has a family business selling farm equipment. So during the day, I would go out on the grain bin crew, and we would build grain bins. Then I would drive over to Lima and get ready for the games. And I still don't know how I did that, how I had the energy to do that. But that's what I remember about those summers, is working from 7:30 to 3:30 and then driving to Lima, having the game from 7 to 10, and then driving home, getting home at 11 and then doing it all over again. But, now I think about some of the funny – we built a fire one time in the bullpen. We dug a hole and built a fire down the right field line or left field line to keep the mosquitoes away. Rob would always, if we threw a shutout, he would always let us take batting practice with aluminum bats. The pitchers would take batting practice with aluminum bats. So just fun stuff like that. Traveling on the road, on the buses, keeping it light, watching the Band of Brothers. That was a big thing that we watched 2004. Rob just brought us together as a Band of Brothers to win that championship.
Those sound like a lot of great memories. From a player's perspective, how would you say that playing professional baseball is different from both college and summer baseball?
I think it's a good bridge is what, the Great Lakes League is. It's not quite what pro ball is. Obviously, you're not getting paid like you are in the minor leagues and the big leagues, but you're getting that lifestyle for a lot of people, living away from home, traveling on buses to every road game, not flying anywhere. You're playing with it was a different baseball, I remember at the time. You're playing with wood bats. Facing hitters with wood bats was completely different than facing hitters with aluminum bats. And it showed me that I could throw the ball over the plate, pitch to contact, and still be really successful. So although it's not exactly what the minor leagues are, it's getting closer because, you're playing fields that aren't, they're not major league stadiums, but they're good enough stadiums that make you feel like this is another level of baseball and something to be excited about, something to be proud to be a part of that league.
For sure. What advice would you give to current collegiate players? And then additionally, we've got a lot of players that couldn't play in our league this year because it was canceled. Is there any additional advice that you give to those players with the circumstances that they're facing now?
Right. Tough year for everybody. COVID-19 has put us all in a bind, even with the MLB negotiations, hopefully finally coming to an end right now. A lot of baseball was canceled this spring and this summer. But my message to those guys is they're all in the same boat. They're all in the same pool. And it's almost, kind of what's up, what are you going to do to separate yourself from everybody that's, been affected the same way. Those summers were invaluable to me. And I think as long as you have the attitude of that you're not a finished product in college and that you're on your way to reaching your potential, your God-given potential, and you're continuing to work for that every single day, every summer day, every day when you show up for fall ball this next year, playing college baseball, as long as you have that end goal in mind that I'm going to reach my genetic max, I'm going to reach my God-given potential, you're going to have success along the way. You're going to know that you gave everything you had. And even whenever your career ends, whether it's in college, whether it ends in minor league baseball, or for me, professional baseball, whenever they take the jersey away from you, you can be proud of what you did and know that you put everything you could into it.
That's some great advice. Craig, thank you very much for joining us. Wish you the best of luck in your career once you're able to get back to the field. And thanks for hopping on today.
My pleasure. Thank you.